Yay!
And we're back.
Hey! Okay, could have done that before, but, you know.
What did you say?
Nothing, honey.
Show them the memes.
Oh shit! Right, yeah. Our my favorite player right now, Ethan, who plays Gesh, just made some awesome memes about the past 2 hours or so. I'm a big fan of this one. I am once again asking for Drow to be treated fair. I like this one. Reasons to live, Kubo.
God damn it!
Yep. History check, medicine. Oh God, you would know so much about like the cards and stuff right now if you guys would just pass your fucking history check.
I don't know shit. I lived in a cave.
Who has any intelligence? Who has any intelligence modifier?
I think I have a +1 in history.
No, I.
Does anybody have an intelligence modifier higher than +1? Anyone?
I have a +0.
+1.
You have a +1. What does Gesh
I
have?
have +1.
We don't know shit.
Yeah,
We don't
which
know shit. I have a +0.
No, just not like that.
We don't know a damn thing.
Leave it to me, Gesh. We got this.
I lived in a cave for 32 years.
That's true. You have an excuse. The rest of us are just dumb.
Instead of the shepherd, I should have called you the
I lived in a little village. I was bullied by my own people. I think
Alright, so we can also use an excuse. I have high wisdom. That's worth something. I have +3 wisdom. I'm very wise.
I have a really good charisma modifier.
Oh God, she's so stupid.
All right, so
Whoa.
you guys were making your way into the invulnerable vagrant.
Making my way downtown.
Stop it. Anyway. So as you make your way into the store, as before, there's the floating lanterns illuminate the expansive set of shelves of occult paraphernalia all about. You see the arcane items that are on display for sale. Some of them tagged, some of them not. You also see a pair of crownsguard kind of like talking to Pumat Soul, who stands behind the counter as always. He's got a very worried look on his face as he talks to these two guards, but eventually he does nod to them and shake their hands, and they make their way out, kind of spears in tow. They nod at you and kind of like shoot a look at Dhuur'in as they go.
Oh.
Flash the badge!
He's not going to flash the badge. He's just going to look down. It's a child's toy.
And as you, as the guards leave, Pumat watches them go, and then he looks at you guys, and he blinks for a second. He's like, "Oh, well, would you look at that? I got some repeat customers. It looks like. Oh, it's good to see your fine faces again. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing better than me. I'll tell you what, eh?"
God, I love you, Pumat.
So not in character.
No, that wasn't in character. I mean, it could be, but Nox is kind of like looking around a little bit, looking around the store, and then she looks at him and she says, "Yes, quite the commotion outside your store, isn't there?"
I know, it's terrible. When I set up shop here in Zadash, I didn't think I'd have to deal with anything like this. Runaway potions every now and then. A literal runaway. Sometimes they grow legs and run out the store, and I have to chase them down with a broom. But, yeah, I didn't think anything like this would happen. What about you, Pumat? You think that would happen? And then another Pumat pops his head out. No, I didn't expect anything like this at all. And he goes back behind the door.
I cannot.
It's so cute every time. I love it. Nox kind of nods her head, like slowly, like, Huh. And then she's like, well, we are interested in solving this crime surely as much as any of the regulars in this city.
Oh, how do
Is
you now?
there...
You fancy yourselves detectives? Oh, I never met a detective before. This is exciting.
Yes. Well, the first step in our detective journey, we wanted to come in here and talk to you, Pumat, because it took place so close to your store.
Oh, I'm not a suspect, am I?
Oh, Pumat.
And he looks like genuinely kind of worried.
His little ears drooping.
Yeah.
She kind of rubs her chin and she says, well, I don't see any reason you should be. Is there a reason?
And as soon as you say that, you look over his shoulder and see 4 Pumat heads. They were like kind of holding their breath, and at the same time they're just like, oh, and go back to their work. Well, I don't think so. I don't even know who was killed out there. I guess it's kind of hard to tell without a head.
They said his name was Hadvar, I believe.
No, Hadvar, old Hadvar Hollinson from the printers. Oh no! And he kind of like puts a big hand on his head, and he's like, oh no, he was such a nice guy too. He always came in my shop whenever he had the extra time. He never bought anything really. He wasn't much one for the arcane paraphernalia that we do sell here in the Invulnerable Vagrant. But he always stopped by to say hello, and invite me over to play spoons with him and his wife every now and then. But oh, that's too bad. I really liked him.
Yes, it sounds like he was a wonderful citizen. When is the last time you saw him?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd have to say about 3 days ago. Yeah, he just came in to drop off a cake that his wife made for me. Oh, that was a really good cake. It's got maple in it and honey and a little bit of pecans. And I don't really like pecans all that much, but I'm willing to eat some pecans if it means I get a cake from Brina. Those are really good cakes.
By the way, I don't mean to monopolize this detective, so if anyone else has questions, you can interrupt me. That's fine. Nox is just kind of taking a little bit of initiative to ask him things, but anyone else certainly can.
Yeah,
But-
they're a step up.
Yeah, do it, Detective Dhuur'in.
He'll take a little bit of a step forward. Now that the crownsguard are gone, he's cool. He's cool. And he'll say, "This murder happened recently, very recently. Did you hear anything?"
I didn't really hear anything. I didn't. I tend to be kind of a heavy sleeper, unfortunately. But if it did happen, I was probably upstairs when it did. Oh boy. You know, I may not really know anything about this, but I I do like to think of myself as someone who kind of has his ear to the ground, if it's as it's so said. And as it stands, about 3 people come to mind that I think would really help you in your investigation if you went and had a nice little conversation with them.
Give me their names.
Okay, yeah, sure, absolutely. There's and he brings up his hand. Okay, well, there's Brina Olinson. That's Hadvar's wife. Well, I guess was Hadvar's wife, and she's real nice, and she might know about his whereabouts throughout the city in the past couple of days. And if anything was up with him or anything like that, you can also go talk to his old boss at his second job, Neil Van Capter. He works up at the Threaded Needle. That's a seamstress's area. They got some really good trousers. I always go there for my trousers because I gotta get really big trousers, and they don't sell trousers in my size sometimes. And I get that because I'm a bigger guy, and I gotta buy multiples of them. You understand? Anyway, and, and, that's true. And there's Well, there's one more fella that you could talk to, but I'm not sure how willing he's gonna be to talk. His name's Old Beetles.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a bit of a crackpot, that one, and when you get him going, oh boy, does he go! But he's gonna be down in the poorer districts of Zadash, and it can be a little difficult to find him. But he's usually got some pretty good information on the ins and outs of Zadash.
I would like Fenkin to sort of nudge Nox and lean in to speak into her ear like seamstress. Seam scissors?
Ah. Nox kind of nods slowly a little bit, but tries to keep her face neutral, as if she isn't, putting pieces together along with Fenkin. And she'll say to Pumaso, well, that is very helpful.
Oh, I'm glad to be of service, especially to such fine customers as you.
He's such a sweet boy. I have to ask, we did ask the guard, and they said that there have been murders like this in the past. Is that true?
About two of them, yeah. Well, two, not including this one. The one before this was a young elf woman, and the one before that was a halfling.
Yes. Interesting. And how long ago were these again?
Oh, they all took place. They all took place within the last month, if you can believe it or not. And he kind of like looks left and right. You know, people are saying that the tall man did it, but I don't personally believe that. I mean, fairy tales don't just come to life. Wink, wink.
Fairy
And
tale?
as soon as he,
What kind of fairy tale is it?
Oh, you never heard the fairy tale of the tall man? Oh, that's a good classic one. I used to sing it all the time when I was a little cub. How's it go again? Oh yeah. Tall man, knocking on the door. One knock, two knock, three knocks, four. Tall man, now begins the fun. Four knocks, three knocks, two knocks, one. It's a creepy little tale, and I guess it's about a ghost or something, but I don't really know for sure. It's been a while since I've listened to that. For honestly, I'm much better with early contemporary musics, especially those penned by those with a more arcane substituents to themselves.
Is there anywhere where we could find out more about this fairy tale?
Uh, Well, honestly, I'm not really sure. It's kind of an old one, and it's one of those fairy tales where it's so old that it's kind of lost the original meaning. You know, how kind of like the Black Death and Rosy Posies and all that. But other than that, I might have some books around here. If you want to come back later, I'll see what I can find.
You do.
Okay, absolutely. Anything to help the detectives. And he kind of like gives you kind of a big old salute.
Aw.
I wish you all the best of luck. If you do go to see Brina, tell her Pumat says hi, and send her Pumat's condolences as well. And three Pumats come out of the door. Send her my condolences as well. Yeah, me too. Mine too. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Well, thank you so much for. Hey, and he looks at Dhuur'in. Wow, you're not looking too good there. You've been sleeping all right.
He just shakes his
It's
head.
probably that book I sold you. Yeah, it's a page turner, isn't it? Yeah, it keeps me up at night too. When I find a good book, I just read page after page after page, and then you look at it like, oh, look at that, the sun went up.
Yes, the book.
Oh.
All right. Well, with that, Pumat Soul has wished you goodbye and good luck. So you have 3 people that you can go talk to right now, and you can either do this all as a group, or excuse me. Oh, holy shit! Or if you want to split up into groups of 3, you can go all talk to them at the same time. But your choices your choices are Brina Olenson, the wife of the victim. You have Neil Van Capter, who is the boss of the old victim at his second job, and you have Old Beetles, a homeless man living in the poorer districts.
Aww.
Yeah, send Dhuur'in off by himself.
To the poor district. Where I'm sure the guards are very nice to everybody.
So to quote one of the best DMs ever, how do you want to do this?
Oh.
Okay.
Well, first of all, Dhuur'in's going to kind of regard the party, recalling the little rhyme that Pumat said, and tell them there may be a 4th murder forthcoming.
You think that is the 4 knocks, 4 murders?
I believe so.
What bothers me is that the line that was left at the scene of this crime was the first line in the rhyme.
So could it be that they're counting down?
Perhaps that is how the end of the rhyme goes, no? 4, 3, 2, 1.
But in that case, it should have been the last murder. But there's only been 3.
That's true. I think either way, that is also true. It is odd to me if it was simply ritualistic killings or killings to sate bloodlust. There are better people to target in this city than well-established members like Hadvar seem to be. There are many travelers coming and going. It would be very easy to pick off one of them. Nobody here would even know who they were. Yet they chose, by the sounds of it, someone that everybody was very close to. I do not think it is an accident that they chose the person that they did. And it's probably not an accident that they chose the previous victims either. If we can find out some information about them, that may help us.
I am more curious about the connection of the what's it called? What is the my English is failing me. Nursery rhyme?
It's the Tallman's nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
I am more concerned about the connection between the nursery rhyme and the choice of weapon, and why they would use such an odd choice of weapon in this case, if it's connected to some sort of ghost.
Yes, the scissors. Well, perhaps we should divide and conquer, no?
I agree with the cat.
Thank you, someone.
I would like to go and talk to the old owner, no, the old boss of the victim, and find out more about whether he has a connection to these crimes or the weapon in question.
Nox is kind of bobbing her head in agreement, and she says, I think it is best if I talk to, what was it, Old Beetles? He may be a difficult nut to crack, but I'm sure I can get him.
Fenkin nods in agreement.
Then I suppose I'll be the one to talk to the wife.
Are you sure you want to talk to the wife?
Is there a problem with me doing so, little one?
No, mate, you're just like really like big and beefy, and she has like just sort of, lost her husband. You might scare her. Do you want me to come with you?
If you think it'll help.
Yeah, I'm great.
That's what you think, man.
Nox looks at Dhuur'in expectantly. Like, where are you going to go, child?
He's kind of looking around everybody like,
He was picked last for dodgeball.
He wanted to go with Gesh, but Gesh is going to the wife, and he's like, I'm also very scary. I should. He looks between Fenkin and Nox, and Fenkin and Nox, and then he gets a gold coin out of his pocket.
Thank you with his very unfriendly face.
He's gonna flip a coin.
I'm gonna flip a coin.
Nox has to be tails because tail.
Heads! I'm going with Fenkin. He
Yeah!
flips the coin, catches it, flips it over onto his other hand, and looks at Fenkin and says, I go with.
All right. So while this is happening, while all eyes are on Dhuur'in, Gesh, you feel a tug on the back of your robes again.
Oh.
And when you turn around to look, it's not Kuba or Zilbin, but it is like a very filthy little girl, kind of like dressed in tattered rags. And she holds up a note for you. And as you take it, before you even have a chance to like ask anything of her, she turns around and runs off.
Oh. Well,
Okay.
he opens it up and sort of angles away from the rest of the group so they can't like peek in while he reads it.
All right. So on the note, it's kind of written in a thieves' cant, where like, you know, it says one thing but it means something entirely different. But you're able to decipher it thanks to your time in the clasp. And as you read through it, it says something along the lines of, Hadvar had inheritance. Wife knew about it. And under that, it's signed The Fly.
Life insurance.
Don't
It's
you
always
wish
life
you could be
insurance.
a fly on the wall?
She's a Black Widow.
Ooh.
Plot twist, it's all of that.
Yeah, so Gesh just sort of, he crumples it back up and puts it away, just sort of muttering.
Okay.
With all these distractions, they'll never be asking about debt.
What?
And then, you can. Then he turns back to the group.
All right. Okay, so just so I have it correctly, Ozla and Gesh are going to go talk to Brina. Nox is going to go talk to Old Beetles, and Fenkin and Dhuur'in are going to go talk to Neil Van Captain.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Just a second. Help me remember this. Ozla's group is Group 1, Dhuur'in's group is Group 2, and Nox's Group 3. Okay. So, Ozla and Gesh, we're going to start with you guys. After heading back inside and ascertaining some directions to Brina's household, to Brina and Hadvar's household, you make your way over to what appears to be in kind of like near the market area, one of the many Germanic buildings with a sign on the outside that says Hadvar's Printing House, and on the door at the doorstep you can see crownsguard speaking with a very very short gnomish woman, even shorter than Ozla, if you can believe it or not. And
Wow.
And her hair is kind of like in those kind of curly pigtails. It's a kind of a platinum blonde, and she's wearing an apron as well as a pair of gloves. And you can see her crying into her hands as the guards kind of like try to console her as best they can. But as they see you approach, they kind of like look at each other, and you recognize these two guards are like also from the team who's cleaning up the body, and they nod towards one another and step back, wishing her goodbye. And when she looks up to see them making their way away from the house back to their rounds, she sees you guys approaching, and she does her best to like wipe her eyes and kind of like smooth out her apron. She says, "Yes, I'm sorry, we're closed for the day."
We're not here for any of your wares.
She kind of blinks at you with very wet and red eyes, and she's like, I'm sorry.
Then he turns to Ozla, just expecting her to take over.
You gotta give me a minute and try to think of words here. The entire walk that's been there, Ozla hadn't like realised what she's done, and now that she's alone with Gesh, she's just like, oh fuck, this is a bad idea, oh fuck. So like when he looks at her, she just like sort of like looks back at him, and she's like, what? Oh! And and then she like sort of bounces up to the woman, completely forgetting that this woman's grieving. She's just
Oh my god.
yeah. We're not here to buy anything, Miss Brina? Is that your name?
Brina Allinson, hi.
Hi. Okay. So we got hired by the crownsguard to help figure out what's going on with what's happened, as you obviously know. Could we come in and have a chat?
Yes, that's a. I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely. And she steps away, kind of like trembling, and she pulls the door open to kind of usher you guys in. And as you step in, the smell of ink kind of like wafts towards you immediately. It's not a bad smell necessarily. It's kind of just a little bit oily, kind of, and kind of similar to the Hill Shoulder Brewery back in Pride's Call, if you guys remember that. Shout out to episode 1. It's kind of the lobby area is kind of like a half lobby, half living room. Clearly, this is somebody's home, but also their place of business. And she gestures over to a couch for you two to sit on, and she takes a seat across from you on a chair, and she's like, "I'm sorry for not having any tea or anything prepared.
Love you don't have to worry about that. We're not here for drinks or anything. We just want to know what you know. If that's okay? Am I saying this right?
Oh god.
That's I'll try to answer any questions that I can." And as she says that last bit, Gesh is sitting down on one end of the couch, and the weight kind of like makes the couch tilt, and Ozla's kind of like raised up a bit.
I thought you were gonna say that it tilts so much that she rolls down beside him.
And Brina kind of pauses and looks to Gesh, and she's like, can I get you a chair?"
He immediately just stands up and nods.
The whole time.
Fuck! Ow!
Somewhere Nox is feeling a sudden, unexplained wave of regret. Just regret.
Oh,
I
just
let my
wait.
children
Oh,
out.
just wait.
Oh my god. Anyway, yes, if you're trying to find the killer, then I'll do anything. I'm sorry. Continue.
It's okay, love. It's okay. Don't worry, my friend cries all the time. I'm used to it. You can cry if you want.
Wow.
Ethan.
So, when was the last time you saw your...
Just this morning. He always wakes me up with a kiss before he rolls out of bed and makes me some breakfast. And then he was out to buy some supplies early in the morning, but I didn't see him since, and now my Hadvar is. And you see she begins to tremble and like bring her hands up to her mouth to like try to stifle herself, but like you can see the wellspring of tears there.
Hmm.
And what particular supplies was he getting?
Just extra parchment. We were running low last night, and he was too tired to go get some more. I'm sorry. What does this have to do with helping find the killer?
We're just trying to figure out where he may have gone and where it may have happened, and if we can figure out from there, if that helps.
He always goes to the same place in the Pentamarket, there and back.
Is there anyone that he may have spoken to while he was on the way there?
No, he always has his orders prepared ahead of time so he can just pick them up on the way there.
Hmm. Is there anyone that he's spoken to recently that you haven't recognized?
No. It's only been our regular customers.
Hmm.
People needing copies of books made and that sort of thing.
Hmm. You haven't had any strange orders or missed orders?
No, nothing that stood out to me, no.
Okay. What else can she ask? Shit.
Oh, I thought that was a die roll. I thought you were rolling to like to ask questions.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
She just has
Roll
a
an
trait.
insight.
can I roll an insight check to see if she's being genuine in her sadness?
Yeah,
Crying.
go ahead and roll me an insight check, yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's 22.
Okay. It's very clear to you, from what you can see, that she's being really genuine. This is a woman who just lost the love of her life and her husband, and she's in absolute grieving and doing her very, very best to hold herself together as you guys question her about this.
Shit.
Okay.
No,
Are you crying, Em? No! I think Oz is she's probably gonna like try and clamber off the edge of the settee and just maybe go pat the woman's shoulder and be like, anything you can tell us will really help. Try and think hard about it.
She was trying. As soon as you start patting her, she does kind of like lean into your touch, because it's very nice to have, even from a stranger, to have this comfort. And she's sitting there like, I really can't think of anything. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You gotta do what you can do.
I can't imagine any reason why someone would want to kill my Hadvar.
There isn't anything that he had that someone could want?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
We don't have much in the way of heirlooms.
Hmm.
Do you have any family?
Family?
Yes.
Well, most of my family lives off in Uxantrum. I came here when I was a child. My husband has a family as well, but, well, I guess not anymore, since about a month ago, he received a letter from his mother and father just shortly after we got married, and she kind of like takes a moment to collect herself, and she says, because he wanted to marry me and not a human, they cut him out of the will.
Now, if anything were to happen to you, would your family be informed?
Well, I would certainly hope so, yes. Why?
And is anyone in your family negative about you?
No, absolutely not. They love me and they loved Hadvas so very much.
And Hadbar's family haven't decided to visit even once?
Well, it's only been a month. Well, it's been very busy. What with the tariffs and the tolls now, especially now that the war is over. We haven't had the time to make it out to Rexantrum to go see my family.
Do you know if Hadbar's family would be informed of what's happened here?
I imagine they will. Yes.
And how quickly do you think such news would travel?
I'm sorry. I'm not privy to that information.
I think we've found out all we can, unless there's anything else you think might be useful for us to know.
I'm truly sorry. I can't think of anything.
It's okay, love. Is there anyone you can stay with?
What? Say that again, Sophie.
What? Oh, is there anyone that you can stay with while you're...
I have this place. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'll be fine. And she slowly takes your hand in hers, and she squeezes it with both her hands, and she's like, "Please, find who did this."
We'll do our best, love. Promise you.
Thank you. And with that, who wants to go next? Are we going Dhuur'in and Fenkin, or not?
You don't want to. You're not going to ask her about the tall man? Oh, that's what the ghost. That's what the ghost of Nox was saying. I'm fine either way.
I mean, she didn't seem to know anything, so
That's
like
fair.
about that. I don't think there'd be anything there in that connection, but I don't know for sure. Obviously,
Okay then.
it's a bit far off to make that sort of connection. So,
oh my god, excuse me. So,
excuse you.
sorry. So Dhuur'in, Nox, you said you wanted to go next?
I said I am ambivalent, but I can go next if you want.
I don't know what ambivalent means.
I'm fine either way.
Okay. So, we'll go ahead and go down to Nox. Nox, you have made your way down past the much nicer districts in Zadash that are kind of at the forefront of where somebody coming into the city might first be and get their first look of the city. But as you go further and further south, you do reach kind of like the poorer districts where the houses become more run down until finally you kind of like come to this kind of like mucky, almost like completely broken down and abandoned neighborhood. And you look on your map and you kind of find an X circled, and as you look up to where that X would be, you see a very small like ramshackle shack kind of like propped up against one of the very back walls of the inner city.
Does she see anybody else on the streets?
There are some people on the street, yes, and they look mostly destitute and very poor. A lot of ragged clothing kind of put together from bed sheets and stuff. You see a mother kind of carrying a baby and a child in a baby in one hand and holding a child's hand in the other as they make their way down. You see a lot of kind of like homeless elves, dwarves, and humans kind of like leering at you from inside alleyways and all that.
Okay. Yeah, she's somewhat decently familiar with areas like this. She's certainly spent some time throughout her travels in the more destitute parts of various cities. But she's very alert. She's kind of been walking with her eyes and ears open, keeping an eye on her surroundings. So as she kind of approaches this shack, she looks up at it and then she takes a moment to look around. She considers for a second if she wants to speak to somebody else first, but then she will kind of get closer to the shack. And is there any windows that she can look in?
There's not windows. It's kind of boarded up tight with wood, and what cracks there have been kind of like stuffed with cloth and paper to really make sure that like no light whatsoever can get in.
Interesting.
And there's a terrible smell as you get closer. Just like
Oh, God.
musty wood and body odor. Just not a great smell, and it's horrendous on like your heightened cat senses.
She has one paw over her nose. She kind of pokes around the front of the shack for a little bit, and then seeing that there's like really no way for her to see what's going on in there unless someone lets her in, she's gonna knock on the door.
Okay. So as you bring a paw up to knock, you knock once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. And you can feel the wood kind of sink on your knuckles with every knock. It's very old wood. But as you drop your hand and wait a moment, you hear from the inside, Yes? Hello? Who is it? Who's out there?
She is visibly cringing a little bit at the smell, but she puts her paw down. She like wipes it off on her on her pants.
Who are you?
Just-
Speak up!
I am looking for information. Can you help me?
A slat on the door is suddenly shoved past, and a pair of bloodshot eyes stare at you. And they're very wide, like wider than eyes should possibly go. And you hear the voice again. Who sent you? Are you with the birds?
No. Listen.
Prove it! Prove it! Show me your arms! Show them to me!
She like stares at him for a couple of seconds, and then she just like kind of holds out her forearms. Like not really, like very clearly not knowing what she's doing, just kind of like, here, look, my arms.
As soon as your arms come out, there's a stick comes out from the slat, held by a very pale, bony hand, and it starts to poke at your arms before finally coming back in. No feathers, no feathers. You promised you're not with the birds. I'll know if you're with the birds.
I promise. I'm a cat.
Oh, yes. Oh, come in. And the door opens, and before you stands a very, very gaunt, very pale man with a very long, wispy beard that goes all the way down to his toes. In fact, like part of it's kind of like wrapped around his hip like a belt, which holds up the cloth that makes up his basically he's wearing this like burlap bag as a dress, and his hair is wrapped around the midsection like a belt. He's very dirty, very skinny. It's hard to tell how old he is, even if the beard is like a crisp white. There's like twigs and stuff in there, and around his neck there's a string of just like a shitload of bird skulls. There's like 20 skulls of like pigeons, crows, and shit on his on his neck. And he looks at you with bloodshot eyes twitching, and he ushers you in. He's like, come in, yes. You weren't followed, were you? Not by the birds.
No, I have not seen any birds.
Good, get in my house.
She comes in, she's holding up her tail with one hand because she doesn't want it to drag on the floor because it's gross. But she'll step in and kind of size him up a little bit, and then she says, I am looking for someone that goes by the name Old Beetles. Do you know anyone of that name?
As soon as you step into the shack, your dark vision allows you to look around a bit better than like a normal human would. And you can see that it's littered with garbage, and really the only furniture is kind of like a pillow that's set before a broken coffee table. And the walls are lined with rusty knives and farm tools. And at the very, very back, there's a kind of a printed picture of like the anatomical makeup of a bird, of a crow specifically, and you can see that just like a bunch of knives and pins have been like plunged into this picture. And he closes the door and he's like, yes, Old Beetles, that's what they call me. You know why they call me Old Beetles?
Why?
Because I can't get the beetles out of my teeth.
Beetles in your teeth?
Beetles in my teeth.
Okay, not important. Okay, listen.
Suddenly the smile drops and he grabs you by like your shirt and pulls you closer. You can smell how horrible his breath is, and his eye twitches, and he's like, are you sure you weren't followed by the birds? They're always following me, you know, always watching. Agents of the Crown. They want me because I'm a prince. Oh, but I know better. I know better.
Her ears kind of twitch a little bit in like very mild annoyance, but she's keeping her expression neutral, and she says, I have excellent hearing. Would you like to go look outside and make sure there are no birds?
No. Not right now. Not right now. Oh, they might be watching. Do not go outside yet. Wait, why did you need to see me?
She just kind of puts her hands up like in the universal like sign for all right, chill. And she's like, okay.
Oh,
listen.
Sorry, I've been so rude. Here, let me get you a beer. And he turns around and he pulls down like a gutter that's kind of been like that kind of leans in from the outside, and he kind of wrenches it in, and it starts to drip like black rainwater into the room. And he kind of like digs through a bunch of junk before he finds like the remnants of a stein, and he starts filling it up, and he turns around and he says, there we go, better than Shimmer Stout.
She very, very much doesn't want to drink this beer, but she will take it with a little like nod of thanks. She uses her claw to kind of pry off the cap, and then she will very begrudgingly take a drink of it and clear her throat before she... I assume this beer is very flat. Is that a safe assumption to make?
It's not beer, it's rainwater.
And you now have dysentery.
Yay!
As you take a sip, he seems to like visibly relax a bit, I guess, and he smiles, crosses his leg mid-air, and then lands on like a pad on the ground, and he says, "All right, okay. What can I do for you, fellow conspirator?"
She just kind of like wrinkles her nose a little bit and puts the bottle down, and she says, have you heard of the murder that took place this morning uptown?
Murder? What murder? Was it the birds? Did they take somebody again? They take children, you know.
It was not a child. It was a man named Hadvar. He was found dead.
Hadvar. Oh, yes, I know Hadvar. Oh, dastardly man. Dastardly. Very evil. He's in line with the birds. You know how I know? I saw him feeding them.
She hums as if this means anything to her.
Just last week, with a bag of breadcrumbs, throwing them to the pigeons, feeding the army.
She just kind of nods slowly, and then she says, all right, so aside from possibly being aligned with the birds, what else do you know of Hadvar?
What else do you need to know? If he works for the birds, he's the enemy. Yes.
Can I make a persuasion check to try to get more info?
Sure.
Or will it even work? I'll try. All right. What's my? Okay. Hold on. Do I have +6 persuasion? Oh, bitch. That's a 9. So it didn't get very far.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work.
All right. So we'll just leave the bird part of the conversation alone. She realizes that, like, okay, maybe that line of questioning isn't going to go anywhere. So then she decides to switch, and she asks, "Well, as you can imagine, the townspeople are all sorts of upset. So it is important that we learn everything we can, and possibly find out who is responsible for this murder."
I understand. Yes. Oh. So you're. Oh, I see now. I get it. You weren't sent here to spy on me. Oh, good. That means I don't have to kill you. Okay, fantastic, excellent.
she's just kind of like nodding. She's like, "Yes, this is good news for me too." I was told that you are a man who knows many things about the ins and outs of this city. Accurate?
Oh, yes, I know everything except how to make shoes.
God. Well, what can you tell me about this morning then? Was there anything strange? Any sounds, any sights, any people?
Oh, let me think. At 2 a.m. every morning, I wait on top of the same building to make sure that no more extra birds fly into the city. I have a slingshot for that, you see. And while I was up there on patrol doing very important work, yes, I saw him. I saw the despicable Hadvar. I did. He was making his way down the Pentamarket, and there was another man, I think. Yes. Another man. Yes. Oh, what was special about that man? Come on, Beatles, come on. You can do it. Come on.
Oh, God.
Yes, that's it. No, wait, no, it's not. Wait. Yes, he had scissors.
He had scissors. What was he doing, this man that you saw?
Slinking around, it seemed. Following Hadvar. Yes.
Following Hadvar, and you noticed that he had scissors.
Scissors?
What?
Yes. Big ones. Silver. Shiny.
Shiny silver. What did he look like? Do you remember?
Don't know. He seemed to be wearing a hood, and he took it off at one point. But then I heard a pigeon, so I didn't do that instead.
Yes, I understand. That is very important. Is he just doing that the whole time?
Yes.
She nods and she says, "Okay, I see. Now, this may seem like a strange question, but have you heard of the rhyme of the Tallman?"
Oh, Tallman. Do you know a Tallman? Do you know a Tallman who can grab the birds out of the air?
Well, yes, sir, I know many Tallmen, but I am talking about the child's rhyme that starts Tallman, knocking on the door. Is that familiar?
Are you crazy?
Possibly.
I don't want crazy people in this house. Get out!
God. She kind of sighs a little bit and she does not get up, but she reaches down and fishes out her coin purse and kind of holds it up and says, "I am willing to pay for information."
Gold? No. Keep your yellow rock. Can you kill a bird with it? Wait. In a slingshot, maybe. Oh, a secret weapon then you are offering? Yes. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. For the bag of bird bullets, I will tell you whatever you wish.
Yes, okay. For the bag of bird bullets, yes. Then, do you know this rhyme or not?
No!
You've never heard it before?
No!
Okay. She kind of hums for a second. She's looking at him like she's trying to decide if she believes him, but then she's like, this man does not have the faculties to lie to me about that. So
You can make an insight check if you want.
actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'll make an insight check.
Make an insight check.
How bad is my insight? Oh, it's not bad actually. Okay, I will. Boop, boop, boop. Bop, bop, bop. 8. So
This
Not
man's
great.
clearly insane. But
yeah, so she's like, but she feels good about her bird bullet bribe, so she's probably inclined to believe that at least about that he's being moderately honest anyway.
Mhm.
So she kind of nods her head a little bit, and she's like got the coin purse in her hand, kind of weighing it as she thinks for a couple of seconds. And then she says, okay, so a man with scissors
Yes,
stalking him
yes,
in the early hours of the day.
yes.
Later he turns up dead with marks on his body that look like they came from a pair of scissors.
Sure.
She thinks for a second and then she says, I have been told that there were other murders in the past couple of weeks. Do you know anything about those?
Oh, yes, yes, I do. The elf, Mercedes Ollerton. Oh, very nice girl that. Oh, she also didn't like the birds. Kept one caged up in her house to torment it, I think.
So an elf woman, she was not with the birds. And there's a human woman too, I believe, right?
No.
No?
Halfling.
Halfling woman. What do you know about the half girl?
Not much. Lives in the nicer districts. I'm not allowed in there. They say I need to put on shoes, but the shoes, they are weapons made by the birds.
Yes, they are very strict about their
you
shoes.
see.
Yes, I understand. Okay, so she's kind of like thinking out loud. So different people, different areas, different backgrounds. Possibly killed in the same way. I suppose we will have to ask someone else for that information.
Yes, but don't ask any birds. They'll lie to you.
Duly noted. Thank you for the warning. She'll stand up and hesitate for a second and then say, Old Beetles, is there anything else you can tell me?
Let me think. Oh! Yes, I can. Yes. Come closer.
She begrudgingly does.
All right. As you get closer, he leans up, and you can like smell the like really bad breath of like rotting, stinking fish and garbage.
Ew.
You didn't hear it from me, but the church. There's birds in the church.
Oh my god.
She nods slowly. Just kind of like has this resigned look on her face, like, what was I expecting? And then she'll say, okay, do you know, are there any assassins in this area of town?
Everywhere. They stand on top of buildings. They hop around on the ground on their two little legs. Oh, they're everywhere, and they want to kill us all.
What about human assassins? Human-sized?
Human-sized? Oh my gods! Do birds come in human sizes?
No. The non-feathery variety.
Oh, No.
No. She nods for a couple of seconds, and then she, can I roll a persuasion check to have her try to convince him to just let her give him a handful of pebbles instead of her gold?
You'll have to make a good case for it, and you'll have to roll with disadvantage.
Can I use my point of inspiration?
Oh,
Do I
you
still have
that. You still have that.
I
Yeah,
do.
sure.
I haven't used it. Okay, I'll do that. Does that that normally gives advantage, right? Does that, in this case, will that just cancel out the disadvantage, or what's your call?
I'm sure there's a rule for it. I'll give you advantage.
Okay. Persuasion. Okay.
Rule of cool.
Also, I want you guys to know that doing this voice is actually making me feel insane.
Oh, I got the same roll both times. I got 14, so it's not a great roll.
Okay, so what exactly are you telling him to try to convince him?
So she's gonna kind of pause for a second and look at her gold and think about how much she doesn't want to give up all her gold to this guy.
Okay.
And then she'll say, you know, if you are interested in killing the birds
I am,
in the most painful way, so that they truly pay for their crimes when you kill them.
Yes, he's like
Then-
salivating.
These gold coins would do the job, of course, but I fear because of their size and the fact that they're flat on one side, they would simply knock the bird unconscious, and its death would be quick and painless. Which is not a fitting death for these horrid creatures, I'm sure you can agree.
It's true. They must pay for what they did to my dynasty.
Of course they must. And so if I may make a recommendation for your payment for this wonderful information and being so helpful, I believe I can procure, if you give me a second, some even more effective weapons against the birds. Smaller, sharper bullets that will cause great pain and suffering when you strike them.
Ooh, yes. Oh, take all the time you need, my dear. I'll be right here.
Yes, I will need to gather them from outside. Give me just a second, and I will even show you how they work as an added
excellent.
bonus.
I'll stay right here. I won't even move. Watch how unmoving I can be.
She just nods. She'll kind of just like only half kind of lean outside, not fully like leave the shack, because she doesn't know what he'll do if she does that. And she'll gather up some kind of like gravel, just some hard, smaller pebbles, and kind of put them in her hands. She's got a good amount, enough to fill both of her hands.
Okay.
And then she she comes back in, and she like has this, this kind of like devious smile on her face, as if she is genuinely excited about killing these birds. And then she'll show them to him, and she'll say, now these bullets will cause pain. Do you see how small and sharp they are?
As you come back in, he's still in the same position, just like...
She's like, okay, you can move now. You can move now.
Ah, yes. Oh, these will be fantastic. Oh, they look so similar to my old bullets, but I can tell that these will deliver great pain to the conspirators.
These bullets will serve you very well, my friend, especially if you aim for the eyes. I guarantee a painful death for these horrid birds.
You've done me a great service. Good luck in your endeavors.
Yes, she kind of bows her head as she's like slowly and stealthily putting her coin purse back away. She bows to him a little bit, and she says, I wish you luck in your endeavors as well. Great warrior against the birds.
And with that, you leave Old Beetle's shack. Probably knowing less than you knew now.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly confusing, but she got some good information. She feels good about it.
Before we get to Dhuur'in and Fenkin, I have to take a piss.
All right. Have fun with that.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Hey. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
The poor birds, man.
Man,
I mean, Dhuur'in eats
Complicit
birds,
to bird murder.
so
yeah. You know,
Can that be our next endeavor? Just saving the birds?
for
We have
dinner.
to battle beetles down off the
For
top
dinner.
of the building.
I mean, they couldn't have the raccoon, so that's second best.
Bonded.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh, God.
Yin and
Two
yang.
antisocial elves try to interrogate a man.
Well, they're talking about the boss, right?
The killer.
Yeah, who is probably involved in some way. Or at least knows who is involved.
Fenkin is sort of like, okay, good. He's kind of intimidating. That's gonna be in my favor.
Yeah,
Kind of
actually,
intimidating.
that's probably good.
Though honestly, Fenkin kind of views him as harmless by now.
Oh, Grebo!
Oh!
Grippo. It's Grippos.
So cute.
That's a baby.
Our mascot.
Hey!
We're dice dogs. What are you talking about?
That's a very tiny dog.
It's a Shih Tzu.
Shit.
Oh,
He's so cute.
oh, cuddly baby. Hairy baby.
So,
Cuddly the wall. I can't.
so we left off with a. Are you crying, Em?
No.
So we left off. If you guys can remember. Why did I say that?
So long ago.
You can remember. It happened 5 minutes ago. With Nox talking to a very interesting individual who left my throat feeling very.
Yeah, man.
But Dhuur'in and Fenkin, you've procured your directions as well, and this is all happening at the same time. And as you make your way to the Threaded Needle, which is the shop that that Pumat Soul told you about, you kind of have a moment to talk to one another, because Fenkin, you haven't really exchanged many words with Dhuur'in at this point, and Dhuur'in, you've never really taken the moment to speak to this very posh half-elf, not in the way that you have with, say, Ozla or Nox at this point. So as you're walking, there's kind of like an awkward silence.
Neither of them are speaking or even looking at each other. They're just walking side by side.
Actually, after walking for a little while in silence, Fenkin will toss a couple of looks his way, just sort of gauge his aura or like mood or whatever, just to see what he's up to.
Creepy.
His aura.
Creepy vibes.
Ominous, scary whispers, the huge.
Then you like clear his throat a little, almost like a tsundere, like. So I guess I will handle most of the talking.
He just kind of slowly.
Great, and you will. Actually, you're doing fine just as you are. You'll be a great help.
He's like walking along with his staff, and he says, "I will stand there and look scary."
Fenkin actually smiles a little, smiling at him, and they like. Seems like a good idea. We got a plan.
Aww.
He knows.
And after that, his step seems to be a little lighter as he walks along.
And as you kind of have this moment of bonding, Dhuur'in, with Fenkin, you feel the amulet of Paylor on your from Karn on your chest, and it doesn't like burn or hurt or anything like that, but it just becomes more. You become more aware of it in a way.
I will reach up and hold it.
Okay.
No.
So finally, you make your way to another building. This one's kind of like more standalone and it's kind of it's kind of within the market area, kind of nearest the middle. And you see on a sign, kind of outstretched on a metal pole hanging from it, an emblazoned symbol of a needle going a thread going through a needle, and the extra thread spells out in cursive the threaded needle. And but it doesn't seem like any lights are on inside, and the door is closed.
Fenkin will observe it, and then he sort of stops before you fully reach the door, and he turns to Dhuur'in, and he speaks a little more quietly. Did you have a chance to observe the wound of the body?
I saw it. You said scissors.
Correct. In that case, let's just be on our guard. If he's even in there. And then he will walk up to the door and he will knock on it. No. He will knock on it 4 times.
All right.
Oh. A little bit of theming here.
1 knocks, 2 knocks, 3 knocks, and 4. Nothing.
Well, that was underwhelming. He says as he glances at Dhuur'in.
Dhuur'in will step forward and pound on the door.
All right. Wham! Nothing.
Fenkin is startled. Is it locked?
Are you reaching out to? Do you want to give it a little Jimmy?
Yes.
Little Jimmy.
It's locked. Yeah. As you reach down to grab the knob, it's not even budging.
Fenkin takes a step back and he looks around and he walks up to. Is there a window?
There is a window, yes, but the blinds have been closed.
He walks up and he tries to see if the window will budge.
Okay. You kind of pull on the window a bit. You kind of like try to get your fingers under there, but there's no real getting that either. And you look inside the window and you can see just in that little space between the glass and the drapes, you kind of see the little latch and you see that's closed.
He says, "Dang it!" and he kicks the wall of the house angrily.
You've broken your toe.
Roll for damage.
Okay, I was like,
Take
oh,
1d4. 1d4.
He sort of huffs and crosses his arms and is very grumpy and turns to Dhuur'in and says, "Now what?"
Maybe there's a back door.
He blinks once and twice, and then mutters something under his breath as he heads around the house, and it sounds very similar to, "What did I think of that?"
There is a
All right.
there is a back. As you guys make your way around the building, there does seem to be a back door and sort of like something akin to a trash bin, kind of like a big basket where you can see kind of cloth that hasn't been used or cloth that's been cut too many times to be used properly. And there is a door there as well.
Frankie walks up to the door and he tries the handle.
Locked.
He wipes the hand on his clothes and then he shoots Dhuur'in a glare as if saying, "This is your fault. You suggested this."
Dhuur'in's gonna go through the trash.
What?
All right.
Dhuur'in's gonna go through the waste bin.
It's not even to look for clues. He just wants to.
You know what? Sure. In fact, roll me a D100.
What?
I don't know how to roll a D100. Okay, I'm just gonna do it on a Discord channel.
Just do it in the bot or something.
Is there even a dice that size?
There are, yeah, you can buy them.
Yeah, I have a D100.
I got an 87.
Ooh. I don't know how good that is.
Tell me you found 87 gold in there.
That would bang.
Hang on. Let me find the
I have a feeling you found a random assorted piece of junk.
You found more now.
Connor might be. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, as you rifle through the cloth and the thread, kind of getting little bits of thread stuck to your hands, maybe a bent pin every now and then kind of pricks your finger, you eventually pull out, you feel something metal, something cold and metal, and your hands close around it, and you slowly pull it out, and you turn it around your hands, and you open them, and you see, it's basically a pendant, but with a stylized spiral that's attached to a cord of leather.
Fenkin had kind of been giving him a dirty look this whole time. And just like judging him.
He holds up the pendant with the spiral, like, check it out.
Fenkin sort of blinks at him and then walks out to him to take a look at it. And it's like, huh, you actually found something.
Is it magic?
Do you want to make an Arcana check?
Yeah.
Give me
I'm
an
so
Arcana
good at
check.
those.
My cat's showing me her belly, which means she wants belly rubs.
Oh.
And she lets me do it, too.
17.
17. You can feel the chaotic magic just breaking against the barrier. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just a piece of metal.
Well.
Sure looks nice, though.
Fenkin also gives it a look over and then he seems to lose interest really fast and then he turns back to the house and he's like, seems like he's not home.
As soon as you say that, there's a voice behind you, and you hear, "Hi, excuse me."
Fenkin jumps and it makes another little shriek like, as it turns around.
When Dhuur'in whips around, like, his arms are down at his sides, so his cloak is kind of covering whatever he may have found in the garbage.
As you turn around, there's a guard standing there behind you, kind of leaning on his spear. Kind of a middle-aged elven man with kind of a poofier beard under his helmet, and he's kind of like tapping a finger against the ferrule of his not the ferrule, the shaft of his spear, just like, you spend a lot of time trying to break into buildings, or?
Dhuur'in looks directly at Fenkin because he knows no matter what he says, it's not going to go well.
Meanwhile,
or are you two just especially bad at it? Because it was honestly very easy to spot you from afar. I mean, I was on my lunch break and everything.
Fenkin gives him a look over, sees the elf ears, and he just kind of takes a step back, almost looks at Dhuur'in as if asking for help, and then realizes there's no help to get. So he gathers his courage and he turns back to the guard, sort of trembling a little bit, and says, we are in teamwork with you. We're helping with the investigation.
Are you now? And what investigation might that be?
The murders. The recent murders. Yes, the murder that happened today. That one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. So, a dark elf and a half elf just happened to be slinking around some poor man's house, going through his garbage, and right after the murder. Is that right? Am I getting that correct?
Dhuur'in's gonna, like,
you just happened to be a part of the investigation?
Underneath his cloak, he's like, well, I guess I can try this. He's gonna pull out the badge that was given to him and say, the captain gave this to me. He promised I would not be hassled.
He opens his mouth to say something, then his eyes fall on the badge, and he's like, "Oh shit. Sorry, sir. I had no idea. Had I known, I would have. I'm just gonna carry on." And he quickly makes his way down the alley.
Fenkin takes all the glory of that and being like, serves you right.
Dhuur'in just kind of looks at him like, you almost got me thrown in jail.
Me? Why is this any of my fault? You just stood there doing nothing, being your spooky self.
It's like the start of
Drow
Battle
are
Notice.
not welcome here.
Well, I wasn't very welcome either, judging by his attitude. Anyway, he's off our tail now, so I suppose we should get back to the matter at hand. He's trying to shaking off like, no, I wasn't trembling, I wasn't scared at all. Let's just get back to business. I'm fine.
All right. Okay, so with that out of the way, what are you guys doing?
Fenkin walks up to the door and tries to kick it down, but he's a twink, so it doesn't go very well.
Hey, man. Hey, make an attack roll. Make an unarmed attack roll.
How do I do that?
Okay,
With disadvantage.
so an attack roll is just a d20 plus your strength for this.
Okay.
And yeah, d20 plus your strength.
My strength is 0, so I got a 14.
Okay, you still hit it. It's a door.
It has an AC of 0. It has an AC of door.
So roll me 1d4 and add your strength modifier.
You do realize I said my strength is, hold on, 0. Yeah, so I got a 3.
I realize that. You're the one kicking a door.
Maybe you'll get a net 4. Don't worry about it.
I got a 3.
Okay.
Hey,
So
that's not bad.
as you kick the door, and your foot hurts now, and the door doesn't budge.
All right.
Jumping
try
around, holding his foot
Can I
like,
try to pick the lock?
Break
What's
a window.
Can I try to pick the lock?
Do you have the thieves' tools for it?
No, I have a herbalism kit.
Then no, you cannot. You're just mashing like mashed herbs into the keyhole. Like this'll work.
Fenkin, as he's sort of jumping around on one leg, on one foot, and sort of like holding his hurt foot and be like, ow, ow. He sort of like points towards a window and like gestures towards the door, like break that with your staff or something.
He looks at the window, looks at his staff, looks at his hand, looks down at his body. This is not going to bode well.
Then what are you gonna open the door with your mind or your little fireball or whatever you have?
Eldritch blast the door.
Oh my god.
He takes the bottom end of his staff and smashes it through the window.
Best team. I think the brain cell.
How did you both become so stupid when you got together?
Dhuur'in has never been smart.
All right. What's your strength?
1.
Plus 0.
Make an attack roll.
Why did you have
5.
why did you
You can break a fucking window.
Roll 1d8 plus your proficiency bonus with your staff.
Yeah, the AC is still Windows, so you're good.
Asa, I want you back. I need you.
Sorry, I'm over here with Gesh.
I can't do this on my own.
Lady.
1d8 plus what?
Plus your proficiency bonus.
You've broken Connor.
For being yin and yang, we're not very balanced.
10.
All right. So
Oh.
as you spear your staff through the window. It shatters rather easily, and you're able to like knock away all the residuals along the frame with your staff. And a now open window stands before you.
He just kind of motions to it.
Ta-da!
Fenkin looks at the little pieces of glass. They're very sharp along the edge. Look at his beautifully manufactured cloak. Looks at the window again and sighs. And then he walks up to the window and sort of sticks his head in to just kind of have a look around. But if it's dark, he has dark vision, if that helps.
Okay. So as you stick your head in and like move the drapes aside, you can peer in and you see the lobby of the threaded needle. And you also see kind of like part of the workspace that's near the back. And you see kind of like sewing machines and not like electric sewing machines, but like hand cranked, hand powered sewing machines of both dwarven and gnomish make. But you also see what appears to be a chair in the center of the room, and in the chair sits a. It's hard to tell, but like you can see a head and a blanket, so it looks like someone's kind of sitting in the chair with their eyes
Are you
closed.
okay?
Fenkin immediately startles a bit at the sight of what seems to be a person, despite the fact that the person seems to have not reacted at all to the sound of the window smashing. And he sort of hums quietly, like he's expecting this to not be a very good find. And then he climbed in through the window.
So you climb in through the window? All right,
Yes.
So you make your way inside, and are you trying to be stealthy about this?
Yes.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Yes.
Dhuur'in will follow shortly after him.
Stealth check.
Oh god.
We know how good I am at stealth checks.
Dhuur'in has a bad history with those.
$11.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hmm.
11.
Okay.
All right. So
We are in tune.
what happens is you're able to get in without a sound, but there is a moment of like where you both try to get into the window at the same time, and your shoulders just kind of, and you have this moment of like, no, I'll go for it. No, I'll go for it. No, no, I'll go for it. But eventually, you do kind of like stumble inside, and luckily not making a sound as you make your way into the building. And now that you're inside, you can see very clearly that somebody is like sleeping in the chair.
Huh. Okay, so Fenkin sort of brushes his clothes off since he made contact with another being, which was not very pleasant. And then he sort of skulks up to the person in the chair, and I wanted to check if he's alive, if he's actually asleep or dead.
Okay. So like, do you want to do the?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
hold the fingers against the pulse.
As you do that, your hand comes out and you touch the neck, and the head rolls off.
Oh no. Oh no.
As that happens, it catches on the blanket and tears it away, and a headless body of a young man is sitting in the chair before you.
Oh
Very
Christ.
recently killed, with blood just all down its shirt. And then,
Fenkin sort of jump back.
Yeah, you jump back, and then, after Fenkin gets done screaming, I assume, you hear something grinding, getting very close, as if something's being dragged against the wall. And finally, around, and you hear in a very, very faint, but a very, very scratchy voice, tall man, knocking on the door. 1 knock, 2 knocks, 3 knocks, 4. And turning the corner, an incredibly skinny, pale figure stands before you, skin as white as marble, a bag over its head. It wears common clothes that hang off its spindly frame, almost like a scarecrow that's been left out in the rain for far too long. Its hands up to the elbows are caked in blood, and in one bony hand, is the biggest pair of seamstress's scissors that you've ever seen in your life, glinting in what little light there is. And you hear the snip, snip, snip as he opens and closes it over and over. And when one baleful eye from a hole in the burlap bag stares at you coldly, it starts to snip faster and faster and faster until his hand is nothing but a blur, and the scissors are moving like a buzzsaw. And over this sound, you hear, Tallman, Tallman, now begins the fun. 4 knocks, 3 knocks, 2 knocks, 1. Roll initiative.
What was initiative? Was it the D20?
D20
Yep.
plus your initiative bonus, yeah.
Plus your, yeah.
Plus my what?
Initiative
Your-
bonus.
Yeah, which is
It
your
should just be
dexterity.
+2.
21!
Okay, so Finn's
damn.
first.
Oh, go off.
Yeah, I got a 12.
Yes, the 2 long-ranged fighters in a confined space against Scissorman.
Please don't try to kill me, Dhuur'in, please. You know my history with friendly fire.
Don't get in my way.
Okay,
I got a 12.
you got 12? Okay. So the order is going to go. It's going to go Dhuur'in. It's going to go followed by Fenkin. Followed by the killer.
Zekila.
The scissorman.
Killer.
Edward Scissorhands.
Voice. Speedy voice.
Okay. So let me fucking.
Dhuur'in, it was an honor during these last two minutes.
All right.
I'm not
so,
dying.
Dhuur'in, top of the order. What are you doing?
I know.
Eldritch Blast, obviously.
Eldritch Blast. Okay. Roll me the spell attack.
12 to hit.
That misses.
Oh shit.
No.
So immediately, like on instinct, after you get over the initial fear of whatever the hell this thing might be, you unleash a bolt of chaos energy. But and it looks like it's about to hit him dead on, but there's a skip of a record, the blink of an eye, and he's not where he was. It's like he shifted over, like with barely a step, and now he's closer. Thinking?
I'm gonna use my first ever spell, Hunter's Mark.
Oh.
All right.
Ooh.
Remind me what that does again.
I don't know. It just sounded cool.
No problem. I can Google it. Hang on. I should have all this shit ready because I'm a bad DM.
You told me it was good to have, so I was like, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
That's a
choose
good
a
one.
creature you can see within range and mystically mark it as your quarry. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 to the target whenever you hit it with a weapon attack, and you have advantage on any wisdom, perception, or wisdom survival checks you make to find it. If the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on the subsequent turn of yours to mark a new creature.
Yeah, I'm using that spell. However, I do use it.
Okay. Now it is the killer's move. As soon as he dodges the spell, you hear a cackle, like,
Oh Christ.
and he leaps with an unnatural speed and agility that shouldn't be awarded by his spindly frame, right at you, Fenkin, since you're closest.
Oh God.
And he's going to attack with his scissors.
Snip.
Just give me 1 second here.
Please don't cut off my hair. Please, I love my long hair.
Oh no.
Snip, snip.
Fenkin just comes out with a really bad haircut.
Oh no. Oh,
He
that's the
goes
worst thing
rage.
you could do to him.
Rage mode.
Does a 20 hit?
What's your armor class?
Yes, that hits.
I was gonna say
I
it's
know.
lower. It's lower
Yeah.
than a 20. I promise.
Okay. All right, excellent. So,
Excellent.
2. All right.
Excellent.
So, rushing over to you, he leaps onto your shoulders and knocks you to the ground, kind of pinning you there. Brings the scissors up, and with a cackle just starts plunging and plunging and plunging into your
oh
neck,
God.
into your
Oh
chest,
God, oh
up
God,
and
oh God,
down,
oh God, oh
up and
God.
down, up and down, and you take 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh,
5 points!
Christ Jesus.
PPK!
Fenkin coughs up a bit of blood.
Adam,
Just a bit, though. Just
horrible.
a bit. Just a little.
He's like, I got outfit!
Okay. Dhuur'in, you're up next.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna try to hit him with an Eldritch Blast again.
Tried and true.
One more again.
Hold on. Well, that's a nat 1.
Oh my God.
God!
Wow.
What was that about friendly fire?
I still want you to roll damage because you hit.
No, Finn! Oh my God, you're gonna kill him!
my streak continues.
Dead!
Sorry, Fenkin.
What's your
use?
What's your max hit points for Fenkin?
I had 20. Now I'm 15.
Okay, you're not that squishy.
I
I'm
swear.
not 15
No, I could very
anymore.
easily kill you. I add my spellcaster modifier to my damage.
Oh yeah,
Yay.
fuck.
Guys, you might actually lose me tonight.
No!
God.
That's 11 damage.
Oh my God!
Boy.
Hey, you're fucking hate
Holy
me.
fuck!
Okay. Fenkin.
Some of your coming friends.
Death saving throw this episode.
So, Fenkin, you feel both a cold and hot energy slam into you as you're being stabbed over and over, and you hear like a swear in Undercommon, and now it's your turn.
And I'm at 4 hit points, correct?
Yes.
My spell, does it only work on bows, or does it also work on daggers and short swords? Hunter's Mark.
It's a weapon attack, so any attack you make with a weapon.
Alright, since he's so close on top of me, I would like to pull out my dagger.
Okay, alright.
And stabby.
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Please, love God, hit.
Okay, so I'm asking for assistance here because we updated all my stuff. So I have dagger, and it says 1d4 plus 3.
So first you roll your attack. So it'll be a d20 plus what
Dex.
is dex?
Dex for
Yeah.
daggers, yeah.
But don't I have to roll to hit?
Yeah,
Yes,
but that's
that's
right.
a
that's
d20.
what we're doing right now.
Oh, okay. So d20 plus dex.
Yep.
Yes.
21.
Thank
Oh.
God.
Yes.
Alright. That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. That's 1d4 plus your dex plus your proficiency modifier.
2.
Is the proficiency wait? Because I already have, it says 1d4 plus 3 PR. Does that?
Oh, right, yeah. We
Oh.
already figured all that out. Yeah, so roll me 1d4, then add 3.
Okay. 7.
7. Alright.
Oh. Took some revenge.
Stabby!
Took out the anger of being hit for the 3rd time with friendly fire.
So,
I think it's like 4th.
So as the pain pulses in your chest, as these pair of scissors are just plunged in and out, you feel the fury build up inside you, and you grab your dagger when you can reach it off your hip, and you plunge it up into this guy's neck, and it starts to spurt blood, and you see the eye roll up as a hand comes up to clutch it, and it rolls, and the creature rolls back away from you with kind of like a ah! kind of sound, and still spurting blood. It's on all fours now, still clutching the dagger. It hisses at you, and then scuttles along the wall, up the wall, and across the ceiling, before finally making its way over to one of the windows, breaking it with an elbow, and scuttling out.
Did it take the dagger with it?
You can hear like the on the roof.
Ew.
Fenkin sort of sits up and grabs his chest, sort of to stop the bleeding, as he coughs some blood up and yells at Dhuur'in, "After it!"
Drink your potion!
He's as if he actually finally remembered it. He's like, and then he reaches into his bag and pulls out a health potion.
Okay, right. What kind of health potion is it again? What's it say on your character sheet?
I think it was a cure light.
Yes, one potion of healing.
Potion.
It's the one that Nox gave him?
Yeah, that they bought from
Puma.
from the store, yeah.
Okay, you drink it, you knock it back, and then roll 2d4.
2d4?
2d4, yeah.
2d4s.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna try to get on the roof.
I actually got 4 twice.
Ooh.
You get 8.
Okay, so you heal 10 damage.
Oh, yes! Suddenly the lucky returned.
Yay.
Let me get up on the roof.
So you're kind of like diving out the window after it, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm like gonna kind of like put my butt on the window and then try to pull myself up from the top of the window to the roof.
Okay. So as you kind of pull yourself up, you look around and you watch as the creature darts from the roof, leaps onto the roof of the building next to it, and then across another building. And
How far away?
right now it's about 50 feet away.
I can still hit it with Eldritch Blast.
Give it a shot.
Hit it.
Yeah, yeah.
Please be not a 1. Somebody blow on my dice.
Somehow still hits Fenkin.
I was gonna say, what would you even hit? I guess
I would blow over a hole in somebody's roof and then go to prison and then die.
Oh no, don't worry, Gesh would break it.
Oh yeah.
25.
Oh, that's gonna hit. That's gonna hit. Roll your damage.
That's 16 damage.
Oh,
Okay.
Damn.
brutal. God, you really could have one-shotted Fen.
So, kind of leaning out the window like an action hero, you cast an Eldritch Blast, and just as it's about to like leap over another alley onto another roof to get away, the blast of chaotic Eldritch energy slams right into its back and knocks it off course, and it actually falls from the larger building, causing 5 force damage as it tumbles down to the ground, and you hear a horrible cracking noise as it lands on the ground.
Ooh.
Gross. Nasty.
And as this is happening, Fenkin, as you hobble out, opening the door, because the door was only locked from the outside, you're able to pull it out. You see from down on the other side of the street, Ozla, Nox, and Gesh, who are making their way back from their respective talks. And
So Fenkin sort of stumbles out of the door, still clutching his bloody chest, and wipes the blood from his chin, and he spots them.
and Ozla, Nox, and Gesh, before you, you see a very hurt, bloody Fenkin, and you also see Dhuur'in blasting some skinny creature out of the sky.
Can they hear or see the creature, like where it falls?
Yeah, it's for you guys. It's about 50, about 80 feet away, but you can see the creature as it tumbles away from the building and it's slowly getting up, kind of wobbling, still clutching the scissors.
Right. So can we try and get at it real quick?
Can you try getting at him?
To it.
No questions asked. Battle ready.
Nox is immediately drawing her bow. Yeah, instantly.
Yeah, can I dash over using my key to boost the over?
Oh shit!
Yeah, you got that step of the wind ability, don't you?
Ooh. Go off.
What's gonna make that your? What's that? Oh my god, I can't talk. What's gonna be your total movement speed when you do that? There we go.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. So what? No, it's okay. We'll figure it out right here. That's what we're here for. No problem. So what's Gesh's movement speed right now? Like just base.
It's 40.
It's 40. 40?
Yeah. 40.
Damn.
Fuck me. Damn. Okay. Wow. Monks, man. Jesus. Okay. So basically, what Step of the Wind does is it lets you take the dash action, which doubles your speed for the turn, and it lets you take that as a bonus action, so you'll still get to attack.
Fuck yes.
And what that means is, like, with Step of the Wind, that turns your dash into 80, and you'll be right on top of him.
Yes.
Fuck it up.
So you burn a key point to use Step of the Wind, and you still got one more key point to use for the day. But
oh yes,
you draw closer, Gesh, and you see this spindly creature, and it kind of like whirls around to face you, still opening and closing its scissors very, very rapidly.
I'm gonna go in for an attack and try and smack at his hand so that he drops the scissors.
Okay.
Mm.
So you're not looking to deal damage; you're just looking to disarm him.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack for that. I'm so excited for the memes this episode makes.
Can I just point out Ethan's comment in the Discord server? He says you really shouldn't have let the twinks go alone.
It's true. That was a bad idea.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
Okay. So, you damn. Okay.
Breaks a hand off.
Unfortunately, and you're attacking with your staff, right?
Yes.
All right. So roll your damage.
Oh. Wait, is that 1d8 or a?
Yeah, it's 1d8. 1d8 if you're using two-handed with your quarterstaff.
Yeah. Okay. That's 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay. So unfortunately, when you hit the creature's hand with your staff, even with a broken hand that snaps back and curls, only attached by the flesh, it is
Ew.
not letting go of the knife. Not the knife,
Yeah.
the dagger. But it does kind of howl in rage, and it stands up, and you can see kind of the blood still spurting from its neck, before finally it crumples to its knees, drops the scissors, and falls down dead.
Yes!
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being this thing? You attack some people, you attack some twinks, you get stabbed in the neck, you run out the window, you're almost gone, and then you get exploded, and then you fall off the roof, and then a giant dragon man speeds up to you with the fucking speed of a god and breaks your hand with his staff.
Yeah,
Like, what a bad day this thing is having.
yeah, I can't stress this enough, by the way. Somebody's turn lasts only a couple seconds, right? So you all watched this giant dragon man move 80 feet in a few seconds.
He sped. He was on it.
I think it's 6 seconds per round.
Nox like had her bow out and she was like reaching back to grab an arrow, and then she saw that and she just like just slowly lowered her hand.
He's got it.
Where's that fucking guard?
Yeah, in fact,
Yeah.
in fact, Nox, like you went to pull the arrow, because you saw the creature, but as soon as you had like the shot aim lined up, Gesh was like right next to it, and you're just like, how the shit? What?
Fuck. Yeah.
But speaking of guards, as Gesh, as you stand over the dead body of this withered creature, there's a clanking sound, and Fenkin, as you kind of hobble out down the stoop, you'll look up and you'll recognize the sound of the crownsguard boots against the flagstone, and you'll look up and see the familiar face of the guard who just harassed you in Dhuur'in with a few more guards in tow. Maybe they were like coming to like check on you and see if like you were actually on the up and up, but they all three of them kind of like stop when they see the blood and the person on the flagstone dead laying before Gesh, and they look up and they're just like, what the fuck happened? And with that, we will carry on next session.
What?
No!
No, just 5
Yeah,
more
man.
minutes. Oh no, that means I'm not gonna heal until like between the episodes.
All right,
Okay.
you're not dead. You're doing
I'm
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
not,
you look that.
not dead.
You have
Almost.
14
Yeah.
health points.
Hey, now you know what it feels like when Dhuur'in blasts people to death
Yeah.
with Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
You survived!
I've been blasted almost to death twice. Once by lightning and once by the Eldritch Blast.
So you've been hit by lightning, you've been hit by Eldritch Blast, Nox shot you with an arrow.
I mean,
Um,
the others in the group must have some sort of respect for this little twink by now. They must be like, damn, party!
Ozla
Dhuur'in
is,
very surprised that he didn't die.
Ozla is literally the only person in the party that hasn't dealt damage to Fenkin yet.
All right, so good game, everybody. We'll reconvene here next Sunday, as always. And once again, everybody check out MC Siggy and their amazing webcomic at Various Everythings. One of my favorite webcomics out there right now. There will be links for that below this video as well. Stay happy, stay healthy.